And I'm finishing my breakfast. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. Okay, so could you just state and spell your full name for me? First and last
Yes.
name.
First name is Dana, Dana. Last name is Maule, Maule.
And is it okay if I record you?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So first I wanted to ask you, I understand that you live here. I did a little bit of research on you and I see that you work at the Clara White Mission. So are you at
So I'm no
Jacksonville?
longer working at the Clara White Mission. I'm doing my film project full time and freelancing.
Okay. And are you a Jacksonville native?
I am born and raised on the north side, been here all my life. My husband's military, and so I lived away for maybe 7 or 8 years, but I've been back home for 8 years now.
Me too, born and raised on the north side.
All
Um,
right.
what school did you go to?
I graduated from Paxson School of the Advanced Studies. Go Eagles, class of 2004. Very proud.
I'm a Viking, but I'm not gonna give you too much.
What school? What school?
I reigns. I'm a Viking.
Okay, Vikings, we still got love. My mom is a Lady Viking, class of 1983. We still got love.
Okay. Okay. So I wanted to ask you, how long have you been making films?
So I feel like I've been doing photography and videography for probably 20 years. I probably officially started experimenting as a film maker and videographer at my church, Household of Faith, when I was in college and I worked on the media ministry. And through volunteering at my church on the media ministry, I decided to pursue film in college. And while I started my college career at the University of North Florida, I finished with my bachelor's in media production at the University of Houston. And I also have a minor in Black Studies. And so have always been a storyteller, worked as a associate producer at News4Jax for a few years, and also have worked for nonprofits in a capacity where I did marketing, PR, film content marketing. And so it's always been a part of my career path. And in this phase of my life, it's taken on a more meaningful role because I've had the privilege to do this full time.
That's amazing. I really resonate with that. Because I too go to UNF. And PR is my ultimate goal. So I really love that, your passions just came from regular old like hobbies and just like being out there. I don't want to say in the trenches, but like just
No,
being
it's the
up.
trenches. It's the trenches out here. It's the trenches. Because when you're in the community, it's almost like you're on, you're out in the wild. You don't know what you're going to experience when you encounter somebody's personal story. And sometimes there's stories that are really joyful and happy and inspiring, but then there's other stories of pain and distress and conflict. And my film Moncrief Springs actually is designed to show both sides. It's almost like a beautiful dream and a nightmare at the same time. We're looking at the Moncrief Myrtle corridor and how tourism in urban areas can help save and preserve Black history. But when you think about, saving and preserving Black history, you have to ask, why is it being threatened? Why is there an erasure? Why is there a forgetting? Why is there a neglect? And so, as I've been doing research about these beautiful destinations on the north side, like Brentwood Golf Course, that's what's on my hat right now, Brentwood Golf Course, that was a segregated golf course. And in the 60s, there were four men referred to as the Brentwood Four who had to file a lawsuit against the city of Jacksonville to integrate the golf course so that Black folks could play there. Um, and then you have places like Mount Eric Baptist Church, which is on Myrtle Avenue. And it is the only location in Jacksonville that got a visit from Martin Luther King Jr. And he did a speech called A Great Time to Be Alive there. And so these stories exist, but they don't get the platform or the love that they deserve. And so I'm here to help make people aware that those historical significant sites are part of our communities, and they're on the north side in Black communities that often get neglected.
So we recognize that the Moncrief Myrtle corridor is an area of Jacksonville that is neglected as far as tourism is concerned. And I think as far as like the support from our city and our state. So what are some things that you would like to see change? Like how do you think that the city can best serve that community?
Right. So the film is acting as a bridge. We have city officials, business leaders, community leaders who do have a responsibility because their role and their jobs to create equity in our city, right? But then it's also the responsibility of the citizens and the people who live here to protect and preserve their neighborhoods, right? And so what I want to see changed is more unison in how we move and how we work to unite our city and to tell the story of our city. Even though my film is particularly about the North Side, it's Jacksonville's North Side. And so whether you live in Arlington, whether you live out to the beaches, whether you live in Ortega, everybody should be able to enjoy every part of town. And they should be able to come to the North Side and find a place where they could live, work, play, and do it safely and have a good time. And so I feel like my film is maybe my way of giving the North Side some better PR and even really making all of us as citizens in Jacksonville accountable for the care we give to every neighborhood, and particularly Moncrief Springs, any neighborhood on the north side like Ken Knight, Ribault Manor, Sherwood, Brentwood. All of those neighborhoods are valuable, and I think that no matter where you live, you could have a good time anywhere.
And so, what would you say that your ultimate goal for the documentary is? Just to highlight that those areas and bring more tourism in and kind of inspire people to take care of the neighborhood? Like, could you just tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. So I've learned this data point from Visit Jacksonville. There's about $10 million a day that comes to Jacksonville from tourism. That's hotels, that's restaurants, $10 million a day. And it can be asked, what percentage of that $10 million circulates in Black communities and actually makes it to the North Side. At one time, I'm 37, and I remember many, many years ago when the Gateway Mall was thriving. I remember many, many years ago when there was a hotel off Gulf Air Boulevard, and now it's a food desert. Now there aren't any hotels. And so if I were to, say my film has a mission, is to create equity and to remind people that investing in the North Side is investing in Jacksonville. And ultimately, the film is talking about tourism, and I would love for my film to inspire people to come visit these destinations: Brentwood Golf Course, Durkeville Historical Museum, go eat at Holly's Barbecue, which is 80 years in the same location, and the founder and owner is the pioneer of curly fries. He engineered a machine that actually makes curly fries, and that's their claim to fame. And so while I do want people to include Northside destinations in the list of things to do in Jacksonville, I want people to invest in the North Side so that we can have more things to do and that we could support Black businesses and that we could preserve these neighborhoods. There's even, natural attractions like the Ribault River, the Moncrief Creek, the Trout River, all these beautiful things that you can do outdoors. When people come to Jacksonville, they automatically think the beaches and they go straight to the South Side. But you can kayak, you could boat, you could fish, you could swim in a lot of the bodies of water on the North Side.
I just really love the work that you're doing. I just need to add that in there because, like, again, like I am a Northside resident, and when I moved back home, it was so important for me to like try to shop at stores in my community, like visit the different attractions that we have, just sort of learn about the history of the neighborhood that I live in, the school that I like, the the area that made me. Pretty much. I think we do place so much emphasis on like Riverside and the beaches. Like there's so many gems and so much rich history to be had in the North Side. And I think that it's important that we preserve that and tell people about that because a lot of us just don't know.
Absolutely.
Um,
And I feel the same way that you do. You know, the North Side made me. Like I said, my mom graduated from Rains in 83. My dad graduated from Reebok in 82. And so there has been something in my DNA that I think has drawn me to this project. I actually consider it a calling, and I feel like the time is now to spread this message. And, you know, when I think about my city, I think about all the great things that make our city unique. It's the bold city of the South. It's the river city. It's the first coast. But I want people who don't live in the North Side to know that too. That if you're a traveler, a visitor, an outsider, there's so much more to love about Jacksonville, and Moncrief Springs is one of those things. And I would say, when people think about these destinations on the north side, they do need some love. I mean, when I go to some of the places, I can see where, investing dollars will really help these businesses grow. But the customer service is great, the experience is great, the food is great, the history and the stories behind them are great. But I would just want to hold more people accountable, all of us, those who live on the north side, our council people, our business leaders, hold them more accountable for making sure that they circle the dollars back into the north side, circle the dollars back into Black communities, so that we could amplify them better, and that we could raise more awareness about these beautiful, beautiful gems we have on the north side.
so I just wanted to wrap it up, but I wanted to ask you, so when is the documentary going to be out? How do we find it? All of those good things.
Right. So you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. You can search Moncrief Springs, the movie, on both of those platforms. The film will be coming out in the summer. We want to submit the film to some local film festivals, as well as some national film festivals like South by Southwest, the Sundance Film Festival, the American Black Film Festival. So that's on the list. And we need the help from the community to make sure that we have a competitive project to submit to these film festivals. So they can make a donation to Moncrief Springs, the movie. We have a donation page that you can find on our social media accounts. And I hope that your station will share this link as well. And mostly, when you donate and make an investment into this film, you're investing into the community, because I have so many partners who told me we have to get this film made. St. John's Riverkeeper has contributed. Visit Jacksonville, which is a tourism arm for the city, has contributed. Explore Jax Core, which is a Black-owned tourism company, has contributed. Black Films Matter, which is a LLC here. So many others have supported me and already contributed money. But we have a $50,000 goal to make sure that the film is done to the highest quality possible. So far we've raised $10,000, and so we're moving right ahead, but we would love support and help from the community. And even you doing this story, helping me get my message out and talk about what we're doing, has been so helpful. And I'm just trying to show the North Side some love and represent I'm repping my hood. I'm from the North Side, and that's what this is about.
Well, thank you so much for your time and your energy. Like, I love what you're doing. I love the work that you're doing. And I hope that in whatever way that we can support you here at Channel 4, we're able to do that. So thank you so much for the inspiration. And yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna sit down.